What is going on, everybody? WeedleTwineedle here, and we are backing in with another Sun and Moon Wi-Fi battle, and this one's going to be against Ashton, a person I battle off my Discord server. So if you guys are interested in a Pokemon Sun and Moon Wi-Fi battle and trade the Discord chat room and a place to hang out and find Wi-Fi battles, definitely check out my Discord server. A link will be in the description. Now me and Ashton are having a PU battle today, as Ashton's packing a pretty cool looking PU team featuring, Cricketune, with a nice sticky web offense with Marowak, Granbull, Basculin, and Heatmore, and Delibird. He has some pretty awesome Pokemon on his team. And I'm using a pretty fun team, a little bit of a try-hard team in my honest opinion, because I do have Electivire and Kabutops in there, but I do have some memes, as you'll see in this battle. I also have Ditto because I wanted to abuse any broken Pokemon that were remaining in the PU tier, and I have Roselia for spikes, and Kabutops for Stealth Rocks, because I just want to make sure my opponents have no fun while playing this game. So we're facing Ashton, and he has a very nice chat-out shirt. So I'm going to get off with my Ditto turn 1, because I'm trying to scout my opponent's team. You know how it is. My opponent is up with Granbull, and I guess scouting out Granbull's okay, but I'm pretty sure it's the Z Heal Ball set like most Granbulls are nowadays. Z Heal Ball Granbull's actually really useful because you're able to switch into knockoffs with ease, and then you can do Z Heal Ball to get that nice pinch recovery once, and that's pretty much all you need because Granbull's just that fat. So I'm not going to stay in turn 1 because I really can't do much to Granbull, so I decided to bring in my Zyra here, my Roselia, expecting the Thunder Wave, because I was able to see my opponent's moveset, and my Granbull actually has the exact same moveset as my opponent has, which is pretty funny. So I bring in Roselia here, and I'm just going to try and lay up some spikes because getting up entry hazards is just for the best, as my opponent decides to bring Anteater, his Heatmore. I decided to double switch out, expecting him to bring in Heatmore, and I double switch into Shit Pickle, my Kabutops. Now, I'm not focused that this thing could potentially carry Giga Drain, so this could have been a misplay, but I do decide to go for Stealth Rocks, I'm pretty sure, because I want to get them nice entry hazards up. Entry hazards are fair and balanced, so I do believe. No, I just go for Waterfall. Okay, I'm playing like a little bitch, I guess. So I'm just trying to play it safe, I guess, and scout my opponent's play style. Yeah, so I go for Waterfall. It does absolutely 0 to a Granbull because max defense, max HP Granbull with Intimidate. It's pretty damn bulky, even though I'm Life Orb Kabutops. It didn't really do much damage. My opponent actually switches out here, expecting me to bring in my Electivire, which was kind of weird, but I decided to go for Stealth Rocks instead because I just want to lay him off. Like I said, I don't really care if I get killed. Stealth Rocks are fair and balanced, and now I'm just going to go straight for Stab Waterfall. I am intimidated, so Marowak's actually able to live, and unfortunately, I'm just going to knock out my poor Kabutops with a Bonemering. Oh. So that's good for him. Down goes my Kabutop, my Shit Pickle, unfortunately. As now, I'm able to bring in Zyra here, my Roselia once again. I can just knock this thing out with a Giga Drain, no problemo, but it actually ends up that he's faster than me, and I just get knocked out by Fire Punch, and I'm like, oh. That was unfortunate. Nice choke on my behalf. What can you do? Now I'm going to bring in my Electivire. That kind of shit happens sometimes. You just got to accept it. And now I'm done playing around. I got to bring in my tryhard Pokemon. I'm going to go straight for Ice Punch here just to knock out this Marowak. I think Electivire is pretty damn threatening in the PU metagame. Even though people like to sleep on Electivire, people think it's really bad. But I personally think it's pretty damn strong, honestly. And it's not just because I personally think it's strong, but it's just because of the strategy I have on this team. Some of you guys may be familiar with it because I did post a battle with this strategy beforehand, and I used a similar thing on my Electric Terrain movie video. So here I'm gonna go for my Z move here, and I decided that getting up Electric Terrain is not too concerning to me because my Electivire does have Electric Terrain. Instead, I decided to go for Gigavolt Havoc for my Z move because we do have 2 Z move users on this team. I actually do have Granbull with Z move just because I kind of forgot about that, but actually it's still not that bad by itself. They're going to go for the Gigavolt Havoc here, and we're actually able to knock out his Granbull from that range of HP because there's just a strong ass attack from Electivire, so we're able to knock that thing out, thankfully, with Wild Charge, or Z Wild Charge, as now my opponent is going to bring in the Anteater here, and I don't really want to stay in on this thing because I don't think I can OHKO him, so I actually decided to stay in here anyway because I decided to play my Electric Terrain because it's about time to get my shit going, so I should be able to tank any one attack from this Heatmore, as he just decided to just go for Fire Lash, and Fire Lash is actually a unique move to Heatmore, and it actually lowers your defense by 1 stage guaranteed, so it's a pretty cool move that Heatmore gets access to. But I'm going to switch out here because I want to preserve my Electivire for late game, so I decided to bring in my Granbull here, my own Granbull, get the Intimidate off on the Heatmore, just to lower down its damage output, as my opponent actually goes for Sucker Punch, not wanting to take the Electric Terrain boosted electric attack. As now my opponent, I figured he's going to want to switch out because it looks like he's a physical Heatmore, and he's going to bring in his Cricketune, the whoop, and now I'm going to switch out my Granbull and bring in my Swoops here, my Swoobat, and here is where the Electric Terrain is very useful because I'm able to get my Electric Seed, which gives me +2 in my defense stat thanks to Simple giving me double stat changes, as now I'm going to go for Calm Mind because I'm pretty sure Cricketune has no way of touching me unless it has like Grass Whistle or something, but I don't think I gets that move. But yeah, my opponent's just going to go for a knockoff here. It's going to do absolutely nothing to Swoobat, and it's not looking so great for my opponent. I'm going to go for Stored Power. I do have 6 stat changes, which makes it 140 base power or 120 base power. I think it's 140 actually, so that's pretty powerful. And yeah, we're gonna knock that thing out. As now my opponent is gonna bring an Anteater here, the Heatmore, and just about time for Swoobat to get a little sweep coming out here. And yeah, Stored Power. It's looking like my opponent has no way of killing, but he pulls out Sucker Punch, and I'm like, oh shit, he has that move, but I take absolutely nothing thanks to my +2 in my defense and my hit point investment. It's a very nice spread I have that allows me to take most attacks that are like stab rock moves and stuff like that. As now, my opponent's going to bring out the Magikarp here, his Basculin, as I should be able to outspeed him unless he's Choice Scarf, and if he is, I should be able to maybe tank the Waterfall. But yeah, I'm just going to go for Aqua Jet here and not quite knock me out, and Stored Power should be able to knock out the Basculin here. And yeah, we're going to be able to win the battle with Swoobat in the end, unfortunately for my opponent. He does have one Pokemon left, which is the Delibird, and I'm like, oh shit, the Delibird's about to Ice Shard me and kill me. It's about the Delibird. It's time for Delibird to get a kill. But that Hustle proves once again that it is a awful ability and always has a freaking drawback to it, which is why I run Z moves on Hustle Pokemon, because you cannot miss Z moves. So they were able to beat Ashton. Unfortunately, Delibird could not get the last minute kill. I feel kind of bad. But that is not the end of the battle. We have another battle, because this battle was kind of short, and this battle we're facing JustWeavile. Some of you guys may be familiar with him, and if you're not familiar with him, I recommend you check out his channel. He has some pretty nice thumbnails, and I just highly recommend you check out his channel. Post some good content and all that fun stuff. So me and Jack are having a PU battle, as I'm using the same team as the last battle, as you guys can see. As Jack's packing a pretty cool PU team featuring Charmeleon instead of Charizard, because that Stealth Rock weakness is just apparently a reason in itself to use Charmeleon over Charizard. I guess Jack wanted to meme around. As I said, I'm like, let's meme it up. So I decided to use my meme team. Like, I consider this team to be a meme. I mean, it's a pretty good meme. It's more viable than most of my other memes, but yeah, this meme with the Electric Terrain plus Electric Sea Swoobat is pretty nice. So turn 1, I lead off with Electivire, as Jack's going to lead off with Aggron. He's going to get chopped in the face by my Electivire, but he ends up carrying the red card. Not what I was expecting. I was expecting like weakness policy, and that's what I would run. But I'm expecting like, Cuss that Berry, JK Bush. But I wasn't expecting red card, honestly. I mean, we did have a battle before this, and it actually DC'd, and I did see it had red card, so I had to pretend I was surprised by that. But yeah, the battle DC'd, unfortunately, and but this is the rematch, and we decided to do different leads because replaying battles with the same moves apparently is just not what people are feeling nowadays, so I can understand that, though. I did have a lead in the other game. So now my opponent, Jack, is going to bring in the Meowstic here, as I'm not trying to take some Yellow Magic with my Swoobat. So I'm going to bring in my Kabutops here, because I want to get rid of those Stealth Rocks, because Stealth Rocks are a fair and balanced move. They'd be willing to sack an entire Pokemon just to get at the Stealth Rocks, because, I don't know, just sacking off like a really strong Aggron in the PU tier just to get up Stealth Rocks apparently is worth it now. But yeah, Meowstic's going to go for Magic Code here. We expected me to go for my own Stealth Rocks, but instead I just go for Rapid Spin, because I'm not trying to fuck with those Stealth Rocks with my Swoobat. I'm trying to keep that thing as healthy as possible, for that Electric Seed later on in the game. So we're going to Rapid Spin and get rid of those Stealth Rocks, and this Aggron is dead. And even though Kabutops does take a nap here, it's fine, because I do have Heal Bell with my Granbull as well, so it's perfectly fine. As a matter of fact, I do believe I actually switched directly into Granbull, because I want to get rid of that sleep status, and I'm just going to get the Intimidate and scout the Meowstic moveset, as Jack actually reveals Sunny Day, and I looked at his team, I'm like, I don't think he has any Chlorophyll users, so I don't have to worry about that. But he does have a Charmeleon, so that could be kind of cool with Solar Power and like maybe a Fire Z move or something. I mean, I didn't really think about it, but yeah, Jack's going to reveal the Yellow Magic here, so he has Yawn and Yellow Magic, pretty good, and I'm actually going to get full brunt of Yellow Magic here with Play Rough, unfortunately, as now I was debating on going for Heal Bell, but I realized that Jack doesn't have any offensive moves to hit Granbull, so I decided to actually go for the Earthquake, as I do actually, the move goes through, he's going to bring in Charmeleon, and unfortunately, Jack's meme is only a dream in this battle because he actually gets obliterated by the Earthquake. And yes, Charmeleon unfortunately did absolutely nothing in this battle. You know, if he had a Charizard there, that would have been pretty handy because, you know, it's immune to Earthquake, but unfortunately he brought Charmeleon. But now he's going to bring in his Passimian. I think that's the Pokemon's name. He's going to go for Iron Head as it does absolutely nothing. But I am paralyzed and he does have a high flinch chance, so I do get flinched by Iron Head. That's a little bit frustrating, but I don't want to stay in on this thing because I'll just get killed by Iron Head. So I decide to pivot into Electivire because I do resist the Iron Head and I should be able to tank it relatively nicely. And Jack appears to be Choice Scarf because most people are on Choice Scarf. I'm Passimian. It's like a Primate clone because, you know, it has Defiant as its hidden ability, but unfortunately it does not have access to it yet for some odd reason because Game Freak decided that we just are not allowed to have hidden ability Passimian. But yeah, he's going to bring in Granbull here to get the Intimidate off of my Electivire. I can understand that, as now I actually decided to set up my Electric Terrain because I still have my Z move up, and I could go for Z Electric Terrain, but he's going to bring in Granbull, and I really wanted to see the amount of damage that Electivire could output with the Z move, so I am intimidated. I got to keep that in mind, and I'm going to go for my Electric Z move now in Electric Terrain because this has a lot of raw power behind it. We have Stab. I think it's like 180 base power. I could be wrong. It might be a little weaker. It might be a little stronger, and it's, you know, it's Stab in Electric Terrain, so it has a really high base power. We're going to go straight for Gigavolt Havoc, and it's going to freaking demolish this Granbull. I'm hoping we can get a nice solid OHKO on this thing, but Granbull is so fat, and that Intimidate did not help the situation. This Jack's going to go straight for Play Rough here on my Electivire, and it's not going to knock me out, thankfully, so I am able to knock him out with a follow-up Wild Charge. I thought he would want to go for Earthquake there, but I guess he might have Earthquake, or maybe he predicted me to switch out. Either way, that works for me as we're able to knock out the Granbull, and the sun is gone, so if he has like any like hidden Chlorophyll Passimians in the back, that means I got rid of it. So now he's going to bring a Passimian, as unfortunately he does reveal to be Choice Scarf, like I anticipated, because, you know, most Passimians are Choice Scarf. I don't even have a Passimian trained, actually. I should probably get one. It's like one of the few Pokemon I don't even have trained from Sun and Moon, which is pretty upsetting. But yeah, now Jack's going to bring in Komala here, and he's going to activate that Comatose. I do think that Komala should have access to Facade, and it should always be a 140 base power. That would have been a nice little niche they could have given to it, but it's a missed opportunity apparently. But yeah, we're going to get the Electric Seed with Swoobat here, as now we're going to set up a Calm Mind. I don't think that Jack can really touch my Swoobat, to be honest with you. I mean, he might have Stone Edge. I don't think this thing got Stone Edge, but he might carry it. And I know this thing carries Sucker Punch, but it shouldn't do that much damage to me. As Jack's going to go straight for U-turn onto my Swoops, as all he has left is this, the Meowstic and the Passimian. So Jack's going to bring out the Meowstic here, and I know he's going to go for the Yellow Magic, and I'm like, I know it's coming, but I can't really do anything about it because Electivire is dead. I can't really pivot into the Yellow Magic and get the speed boost. So yeah, we're going to take this Yellow Magic here with my Swoobat, as now we're going to set up a Calm Mind because we have that simple ability. May as well get some stat boost going, and I already know this thing doesn't have any attacking moves, and he can't put me to sleep because I already have a Pokemon put to sleep, so he can't really break Sleep Claws in that regard, which is pretty unfortunate for Jack. I mean, he could if he really wanted to, but that's against the Smogon rules, and if he did that, the Smogon Nazis will attack you, so how dare you. Unfortunately, we do get paralyzed here, as I was going to go for Stored Power, but it's not a big deal, as Komala is able to go for Sucker Punch here, and it's actually not going to do anything. It literally does a quarter health thanks to my freaking Electric Seed and the simple ability giving it +2 defense, and with Stored Power is going to easily obliterate this Komala. I don't know if he was a Self-Faust or whatever, but if he was, it did not matter, as now Jack's going to bring out the Melon Head once again, and this thing does have Iron Head, and I am paralyzed, so Jack's going to go off that. I thought he might carry Stone Edge, but I guess he doesn't. He might have a move to hit Fairy types, which is Iron Head, obviously. He might have like Close Combat, U-turn, Iron Head, and I don't know what his last move would be. But yeah, he's going to go for Iron Head, try and Paraflinch me, as he does do just Succession, but unfortunately, Swoobat does come through here. Going to go for the Stored Power, and it's going to obliterate the Passimian, and unfortunately for Jack, he's going to become a victim to my amazing Swoobat strategy. And this doesn't show that I've surpassed Verlisify in moveset strategies, and I don't know what does. Like, besides like demolishing Verlis himself in his own game, own doubles. Like, I mean, it's kind of given that my moveset strategies are on like another level of Fatal Pokemon. They've transcended Smogon. But yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy these double Wi-Fi battles. Jack actually forfeited in the end there because he couldn't really touch my Swoobat. If you guys did enjoy the Wi-Fi battle and want to support my channel, please be sure to leave a like on the video, as it is the best way to show your support towards my YouTube channel, and it's much appreciated. Thank you guys so much for your support. As always, I really appreciate it. And yeah, the question of the day is going to be, which Pokemon strategy of mine has your favorite? And you know, enjoy the most out of all the strategies that I've posted from Sun and Moon. Let me know in the comments down below, as I'm pretty interested to see what your guys' favorite strategy is, and I might bring them back in the future. I definitely don't like to leave Pokemon on the PC for too long, because then I kind of feel bad. I feel like I've wasted my time breeding them. So yeah, let me know in the comments down below which Pokemon strategy of mine was your favorite, and I should probably bring back in a future Wi-Fi battle. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching till the end. I'll check you guys in my next video. Bye.